Here in one camera shot you have the New York Times, LA Times Oscar bloggers.
Sorry.
And
Just
David
an
Carr,
impulse.
we have this race all figured out. The Derby's over, right? As soon as you and I speak.
Yeah, everybody's paying attention to us except everybody.
All right, but we've been saying all along, pay attention to Slumdog, and here at the Golden Globes, we saw it go all the way. By the way, it won 4 Golden Globes. That is the second most in history.
Yeah, it's an amazing, small movie coming in. Globes is typically very star obsessed.
Yes, yes.
And I'd be hard pressed to name Dev Patel. I mean, he's a great young actor, but it isn't like everybody's going, hey, Dev Patel's here. You know what I mean?
And when we were talking right before this video went on, you were saying that was a trend throughout the whole night. We didn't have Mamma Mia, we had Happy Go Lucky.
Yeah,
well.
A lot of small movies did really, really well if you go down the list. And the big movies like Button, not so much.
What do you think happened? Because the Globes are starstruck normally, and I would say if an analogy with Slumdog would be Babel, which won Best Picture here 2 years ago. It had Brad Pitt, but Slumdog doesn't have the stars. It seems as if they were, imagine this, voting on quality.
Voting on quality, and they lived up to their name, Hollywood Foreign Press Association. The fact that a third of the movie was in Hindi was appropriate to the story, didn't seem to bug them that much. And you gotta admit, when you sit down watch that movie, it's one of the few movies this season that pushes you back into your seat, and you just end up staring at.
Here's the theory I'm peddling now. We all thought that the race for Best Picture was between Slumdog Millionaire and Benjamin Button. I think that we have seen between the Critics' Choice Awards and the Globes here that Button is not the contender we thought. However, I'm saying, David, that Dark Knight could have the most Oscar nominations on January 22nd, and that could change the psychology of this race, couldn't it?
Yeah, I've been wrong about Dark Knight all year long. I thought Dark Knight was a phenomenon of people like you and others just pushing it, but people love the film. And they go back to it because of Heath Ledger's performance, pulls them back in, and you can't argue that there was a better performance this year. An amazing, amazing piece of work. And if the film's got a little trouble in the third act, well, by that time, people are already sold. And yeah, people, if it ends up, people are patting their empty pockets and wondering what the future of the industry looks like. It might be interesting to push a big popcorn movie all the way through.
Not just a big popcorn movie, the second biggest grossing movie ever. And let's look at this. We're in a recession right now, and this is a money town. This is a business. In addition to doling out fake gold statuettes for artistic pretension, they may be very tempted to say, look, we want to send the message that the movies is a business, and as much as we love Slumdog, Dark Knight is viable. I think that Dark Knight is a viable dark horse. Do you agree?
Yes, very much so, and it's been smartly marketed. They've kind of stayed in the weeds on it. They haven't gone crazy on it, and now they can leverage whatever success they've had. In terms of how obsessed the town is with business, if Gran Torino were to sneak in, which is very, very unlikely, but it did $30 million in business. And there is Clint Eastwood swinging out of the trees again. Clint was not much of a presence here, but
he wasn't nominated. He's never been nominated for acting at the Globes.
But over and over this weekend, I kept hearing about Gran Torino. And if he had gotten that weekend in last weekend, we'd be looking at maybe another workaround by Clint Eastwood, who's known for coming in late in the season and getting into Best Picture. But I think you're right. It's probably Dark Knight. It's not going to be Wall-E. And even though Kate Winslet won for both Doubt and The Reader, I think people love...
Rev Road and The Reader.
Is it Rev Road and The Reader? I'm sorry. Thank you. Rev Road and The Reader, I think that it's too late to get oxygen to those campaigns. It'll be great for Kate Winslet, but it's not going to help. It'll help them at the box office, but not in this weird stuff that you and I follow.
The Derby is all about momentum. We saw No Country for Old Men just take off at those Critics Awards and go the distance. Let's go back to 1995 when everybody said that the Oscar race was between the movie that won here, Sense and Sensibility, and Apollo 13. And just about 10 days to maybe 2 weeks before Oscar night, this Braveheart thing took off. None of the pundits back then had predicted it would win, and it was the movie with the most nominations, and it ended up pulling off a surprise. So there's always that chance that something in the home stretch could take off.
Yeah, but the thing about Slumdog is a movie that suggests everything is preordained, that it's fate. I think it's fate this year that
I agree.
Slumdog is going to go all the way. I can't see what stops it. It is a crowd-pleasing, opens with a big chase, ends with the dance, has some rugged stuff in the middle, but has a big beating heart of a film. And you know what? Academy is not that much different from regular old human beings or Oscar ninnies like you and me. It's pretty hard to resist that movie.
I know. It's a movie with a big heart. And every now and then when the Oscar voters actually embrace a movie with heart, like Chariots of Fire, a little movie that was about people winning a contest, it reminds us that these Hollywooders have a heart. Isn't that breaking news?
Hollywood is capable en masse of imitating human beings in very short little spurts.
So there's hope this year that they'll prove it again.